This week's question is a particularly important question. How can myeloma patients avoid infection? Infection is an issue for most myeloma patients. A few are fortunate and really don't have this concern, but most do. And this is because when myeloma is active, the normal immune system is reduced, and this increases the risk of an infection. With the treatment for myeloma, the white count is often reduced. This further can increase the risk. A particular concern is the additional use of steroids, prednisone or dexamethasone. These drugs reduce the body's immunity to infection and can be especially dangerous because infection can emerge even without spiking a fever. And so one needs to be especially cautious about any signs of infection when steroids are being used. So, what are some tips to avoid infection? Well, the first thing is not to ignore fever. If you spike a fever, even in the middle of the night, call the doctor, call the emergency room. Don't just ignore fever. This could be a very important alarm that something is going on, even if a source of infection is not immediately obvious. There could be an infection in a tooth, in a sinus, somewhere that you're not aware of. Another important thing is that keeping your hands clean is good. However, please do try to avoid the hot air hand dryers. Strangely enough, these hot air dryers are a source of infection. When that hot air blows out, it's blowing bacteria out over your hands. So it's much smarter to use towels to wipe your hands, to wipe that infection off your hands and get rid of any infection that you might be carrying from one place to another. Another helpful tip is to talk to your doctor before you're traveling or going on a trip. Your doctor can provide you with a 3 to 5 day course of some antibiotic that might be useful to cover some what we call opportunistic infection in your case, maybe linked to an infection that you've had in the past. Antibiotics that can be useful include something like a 3-day Z-Pak or Cipro or Biaxin. Having a course of that on hand in case you spike a fever, a chest infection, or a urine infection, then you can have something to rely on. A final point is, if you're traveling, consider getting a personal air purifier. This is a little battery-operated air purifier that you can wear around your neck, about the size of a cigarette pack, actually a bit smaller. They cost about $50 and are available online. These little air purifiers can really reduce the risk of picking up infection, especially if you're traveling by air or a packed bus or train. So hopefully these are a few tips that can keep you infection-free.